On the 23rd of July, Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling held their first Korakuen Hall show since the lockdown, entitled Brand New Wrestling 4. Before we get into the review, please support my designer Ptsan. Let's get into it. As with any TJPW show, we open with the always amazing Up Up Girls. Such a joy to watch. The opening match featured the always happy Suzume teaming with the debuting Mocha Miyamoto, who has a really nice theme song and a very unique set of ring gear. They face off with the absolute dream team of the turtle-powered Mirai Mayumi and the living legend that is the Tokyo Space Ranger, Sena Shiori. Sena and Mocha began the match with some nice chain wrestling, and it led to a stalemate. Mirai and Suzume in now. They trade for a bit and Suzume hits a nice dropkick, with Mirai taking a noticeably nice back bump. Mirai takes back control of Mocha and tags in Sena. Stronger forearms from Sena that really look snug and good. Mirai and Sena dominate for a bit before Mocha hits a chop on Sena. A nice unique suplex by Mocha before the hot tag to Suzume, who then cleans house. Sena then hits a back elbow to regain control and tags in Mirai. They work some good stuff with speed versus power, and Mocha is back in. Big scoop slam by Mocha for a 2 count. Sweet drop kick to come back from Mirai. Eventually Mirai hits a sweet lariat with the crowd audibly gasping. She hits that on Mocha Miyamoto for the 3 count. Rocket Turtles win. Overall, really good opener, and one that I definitely recommend. A big win for Mirai and Sena. And Sena avenged the fluke loss to Suzume, and it was a fluke loss. Match 2 was another tag match, this time featuring the number 1 wrestling cat Haruna Neko, teaming with the returning after 9.5 months out, Unagi Himawari, who looked great. Love that attire. They faced off against Passion Blue Mahiro Kiryu, and Old MacDonald had a pom. Unagi and Pom began the match. Decent stuff before Neko and Kiryu enter. Good stuff here as well, and Neko has really improved a lot. Kiryu then disgustingly grabs Neko's tail. You just do not do that. Punches of doom by Pom, but Neko escapes. Rake to the back. Unagi with the boobs of doom. Neko enjoys raking Pom's eyes as she does it quite a few times, but Pom comes back with a shin kick and a drop kick. Kiryu in now, and they do some decent stuff before Unagi comes back in. Unagi with a nice leg drop, but it only gets a 2 count. Kiryu back with a one-legged drop kick, and then a missile drop kick by Pom almost wins it. Pom to Justice misses, and Unagi locks in a nice submission, which I believe is called the Gory Special. Kiryu breaks it up, and Neko actually finally, for the first time that I've seen, hits her code breaker. Good slugfest between Unapai and Pom, with Unapai winning. Pom does take control however, and hits the Pom to Justice for the victory. They all embrace after the match, in which is a nice moment. Overall, a really good match, and another one I recommend. Unagi really impressed me a lot, and this was the first match I've seen of her. She has really nice movement. And as I stated earlier, Neko has really improved a ton. She was excellent in this. Good stuff. Match 3 saw Raku take on fellow up girl Hikari Noah, who has new hair, which looks nice. Slow start, but they slightly pick up the pace. Ayasami Express somehow only gets a 2 count.
立つもんですね。またその鈴音選手が初めて見た客席から見た時からまたもう変わりました。
Raku idiotically lays off and allows Noah to take control. Raku seemingly can't get anything going until she ducks a dropkick and hits a nice facebuster. Brain chop and a dropkick follow. Noah then takes Raku to Dropkick City after reversing an Irish whip. Raku returns with a diving brain chop, but it only gets a 2 count. Sleeper hold is locked in, but Noah manages to get the ropes after a long while. Clothesline by Hikari Noah for a double down. They get up and do a slugfest, which Noah wins, and she just absolutely pummels Raku as she's falling to the ground. Noah makes a misstep, however, and is hit with a back chop by Raku. Uranage out of nowhere, but due to the punishment Noah's taken in the match, she cannot capitalise on the pin. So Raku gets up and hits a Russian leg sweep, only a 2 count. She then hits the sling blade, but doesn't go for the pin. Instead, she wants to inflict more punishment and goes for the neck breaker, but Noah hits a clothesline and then connects with the Uranage for the victory. This was a good match, and it really definitely picked up near the end after a bit of a slower start. It had good story, and I would give it a solid recommendation. Good stuff. Match 4 was a grudge match, and a match I was looking forward to, as Mina Shirakawa, complete with stunning new ring gear, took on the always stunning Kamyu. Nice start with Kamyu taking control early on. An absolute beauty of a springboard arm drag, however, by Mina. Twisting crossbody from the top rope by Mina. Cool. She goes for the Chansu, but Kamyu uses her long legs to her advantage and kicks out of it. Kamyu then dominates here, again using her long legs to take control. Kamyu then locks in a nice submission before Mina attempts a comeback. It is very short-lived, however, and Kamyu regains control again. Mina finally does eventually come back with a flying forearm, and it is here I noticed that Kamyu's selling is really good. Chansu finally gets locked in, then an armbar gets locked in, but Kamyu rubs her feet into Mina's wrists to escape, and I thought that was just a really nice little touch, an awesome little moment. It's just the little things sometimes that make a match. They trade a bit before Mina drops Kamyu with a slam. Somersault senton misses, however, and Kamyu with a beauty of a big boot. They have a really nice slugfest, and then they trade slaps, but Kamyu hits some nice chops and a pitch perfect drop kick. Aki levels on that one. Top rope fame out and misses. Mina goes for a torture rack, but Kamyu with a roll up for a 2 count. The pace picks up again, and Mina hits a back fist, and then a nice slam for the 3 count. Wow. This match started decently slow, but boy did it pick up in the second half. Amazing storytelling, and Kamyu and Mina had great facial expressions throughout. Really nice sequences and good action. Top notch stuff as Mina shines again, not taking any away from Kamyu, who does need to win soon probably because she's lost some big matches. Maybe she wins the Princess Cup, it's possible. This is a must watch match, and in my opinion the best match in TJPW this year. Match 5 was a 6-woman tag featuring Mizuki, Natsupoi and the badass known as Miyu Yamashita. They took on Nodoka Tenma, God aka Maki Ito, and the final TJPW match for now with Yuna Manase. Miyu and Yuna begin the match, solid chain wrestling leading to a stalemate. Ito and Poi in now, and Ito gives Poi the middle finger in typical Ito fashion, so Poi tries to break it and bites her finger. More heelish offense from Poi. Slugfest with Poi using forearms and Ito using the superior Scream. Obviously the Scream wins. Poi's partners want no part in this and jump down from the apron. Tenma throws Poi into Yuna's chest. Ito wants to do it as well, but she lacks the cushion that Yuna has, and it ends up hurting Ito as well, knocking her off the apron. Poi and Tenma have a really nice sequence. Poi takes control with Beal throws before tagging in Mizuki. Mizuki does nothing of note before Tenma hits a crossbody, but Mizuki matrixes out of the pin and hits a stomp. That was nice. Tenma gets beaten up a little bit before squaring off with Miyu and taking her down with a shoulder block. Tag to Maki Ito, and Ito is a house on fire and hits the cutest in the world spot. Falling headbutt, but only a 2 count. She goes for a Boston Crab, but Miyu breaks it and hits a kick. Mizuki in for a slugfest, and we get a double down. Flying headbutt misses, and Mizuki hits a stomp again. DDT by Ito, and here comes Yuna. She takes control, but Mizuki back with a springboard dropkick. Poi now in with 2 top rope crossbodies on Yuna, but Yuna just mows Poi over. Slugfest, which Poi wins. Swinging neckbreaker with a Mitsuru level of bridge. Miyu now in with a deadlift gutbuster. Nasty clothesline by Yuna to come back low. Tenma in and she cleans house and hits a beauty of a back body drop. She goes to the top, but Miyu just walks up to her and hits 2 lethal kicks to the head. Submission locked in, but it's broken by Ito and Yuna. Miyu tries to take on everyone, but doesn't last as the number game catches up to her. Ito does need to stop doing the corner DDT as it just doesn't work, or she just needs to practice it more. Tenma hits a top rope splash, but the pin is broken up. Double lariat by Yuna, and then Yuna tries to trade kicks with Miyu. Now, why would you do that? As predicted, Yuna gets beaten up and takes a skull kick, knocking her clean out. Poi and Mizuki with crossbodies to the outside, and then we get some awesome stuff between Tenma and Miyu hits a running knee in the end to get the win. I would really love to see a singles match between those two. They all embrace afterwards, and Yuna makes a goodbye for now speech. She will be back one day. Excellent match as expected. Poi shined in this, and Ito is always a star in every match she's in. Miyu is completely badass, and Tenma rises in my ranks with another terrific performance. Yuna did really well, and Mizuki was okay as well. A must-watch match as well. Match 6, the semi-final, saw a Puri tag title match as Daydream, Miyu Watanabe and Rika Tatsumi, defended against, I want to get this right, Kyoraku Kyoemi in Hyper Misawa and Shoko Nakajima. Misawa and Rika begin. The usual stuff, and then Shoko and Miyu enter. Good stuff between these two as Misawa and Shoko dominate. Miyu comes back with a shoulder block, and Misawa plays hero in peril as Daydream work over her leg. Misawa accidentally uses a spray on Miyu, and then accidentally uses the ropes for a pin, and then accidentally rakes Miyu's eyes. She then hits a crossbody. As we know, Misawa is always fair in her matches, and these heelish acts per se are just accidents. Shoko in now, and man, she is awesome. She does some awesome stuff and then hits a suicide dive, first one of the night. Take note, every other promotion. The ref gets killed with a stinger splash by Miyu, then Kyoemi tape Miyu around the ring post. Misawa then pulls out the hero bike. I don't know what it's called, so don't ask me. She misses Miyu and runs straight into the guardrail. Shoko hits Miyu with a sack, and Miyu eventually gets untaped, and Shoko reveals that the sack is full of toy kaijus. She immediately regrets releasing them. She then gets slammed into the kaijus, regretting even more that she released them. Chaos then ensues, and we get some nice back and forth action. Eventually, we get a double spin as Miyu does the giant swing on Shoko, and Rika with the airplane spin on Misawa. Dragon Sleeper by Rika, great transition into it by the way, through the corner. Shoko breaks it however. Top rope face crusher by Misawa, and then the hero dive as Shoko has Miyu tied up. However, Rika reverses the pin and nearly steals the win, but only gets a 2 count. Misawa with the final cut, but Miyu breaks the pin. Daydream hit a bunch of moves, and Rika with a top rope butt attack for the win to retain the titles. Excellent match, as you would probably expect between these four. They worked terrifically together, had good chemistry, told a good story, and had many unique spots. A lot of fun, very entertaining, must-watch match. The main event was for the Puri title as Yuka Sakazaki defended against Yuki Aino of all people. To be honest, I didn't watch this live because I just didn't really care at all, to be honest. Good chain wrestling to begin, and Aino takes control. As I fall asleep, Yuka hits a back elbow. Yuka then works the leg, this won't matter, but Aino back with a shoulder block. Aino nearly does a cool maneuver, nearly, as she scoop slams up Yuka and puts her into the ropes and then just doesn't complete the scoop slam, just drops her. She misses a splash, and then Yuka goes for the Rana on the outside and almost concusses herself. This is not good so far. Yuka throws Tenma into Aino and then accidentally dropkicks Tenma. Some awkward bad stuff happens before Aino hits a gut wrench from over the ropes. Senton and a splash, but only a 2 count. Slam by Yuka. Slugfest, Yuka wins with a nice Enziguri. Venus DDT, 2 count. Military Slam, 2 count. Forearms by Yuka for a 2 count. And a spinning slam for a 2 count. Minutes of nothingness before Yuka hits a sweet 450 for the win. This match was quite dull, to be honest, as dull as Cody Rhodes. The opening parts played no effect on the rest of the match, so that can just be skipped because it just plays no effect. There were some good spots down the line, but it did feel janky and awkward at times. They just have no chemistry in the ring. I would have given Aino's spot to Tenma, to be honest, because that would be a great match. But this was not. Technically not a bad match, but not one I will ever rewatch. For me, you can skip this unless you really like Yuki Aino. Overall, terrific show until the main event. 3 must-watch matches and 3 good other matches despite the main event. MVP of the night goes to Haruna Neko, with Shoko Nakajima and Kamyu as honourable mentions. Haruna really impressed me again. I remember it was just a month ago that she was looking a bit lost in the ring at times, but none of that here. She's developed a lot recently and her wrestling skills are improving at a scary rate. I could see her moving up the card very soon. She actually could be a sleeper pick in the Princess Cup, you never know. Match of the night is a bit touchy, we have 3 contenders. But I'm going to go with Kamyu versus Mina. Terrific story and terrific action, great facial expressions, and a lot of fun. Both deserving a round of applause for that performance. Thank you for watching and listening to the Decent Wrestling Show. See you next time.